pretentious view of the Sterling JP70 coming right up. Man Bun Metalhead here, and in my hand I hold the Sterling by Music Man JP70 7-string guitar. And I'm here to give you a pretentious overview. Why do I say pretentious? Well, I'm a little bit of a guitar snob, and I almost play exclusively custom guitars. Like this one, or this one, and this one, and this one? So I can tend to be a little needy when it comes to choosing guitars to play. I've been looking into getting 7-strings for quite a while now, and I didn't want to break the bank. I didn't want to spend $2,000 or $3,000 on a guitar to go, you know what? I can't play a 7-string. Typically they run for about $650. I think you can get one of the other colors in $550 at a couple places. But this is the green transparent burst. It also comes in the purple burst as well as the red burst. You see the purple around a lot. I haven't seen the red too much, but you also find it in the stealth black. It has a maple neck with a rosewood fingerboard. It has the shield inlays with a JP up here. It also has locking tuners, which is a cool plus. The truss rod adjustment is actually down here, which I'll get to in a little bit. The body wood is basswood or basswood, however you want to say it. It comes with a floating trem, which is not locking. It's got some custom pickups made specifically for this guitar. And then it has a 3-way switch, volume and tone knob. When I first got the guitar, the first thing I wanted to do was set it up. And I like my action really low. I like the strings as close as I can get with a little bit of rattle in the string because I like to play fast. At least I like to try to play fast. So the neck adjustment is actually down here on the base of the neck. And I'm not sure if we're going to be able to get a good shot of this, but it's this little wheel right in here. You can barely see it. It's black, kind of blends right in there, which is kind of nice. It's got little holes in it, and what you can do is stick a little Allen wrench in there and turn it back and forth to tighten or loosen the truss rod. So that made it really easy. You can get some good leverage on there. Pretty unconventional, or maybe a different mechanism that I've seen before, but I kind of like it. The bridge adjustment, height adjustment, was also really simple. It was really smooth, really easy to turn up and down. So I was pretty happy with that. The springs on the back, which you're not gonna be able to see here because I got the cover on, but like any floating trem, it's got a claw with 2 screws in there, and those are actually really easy to turn in and out as well when I was making adjustments to the bridge angle. So overall, setting this up was really simple. I also did some intonation, which was really close to being intonated, but it's got these little screws in the back here. It was really simple. So very good job. Give them kudos on that for having this really setup ready guitar. One thing that kind of bugs me a little bit about the setup is the bridge pins use a 3mm Allen socket, and the neck adjustment here uses a 7/64 inch Allen socket. That fits in there perfectly. You can fit a 2.5mm Allen wrench in there, and it's a little loose. It does the job. It's not going to damage it. If I would have designed it, I would have done a 3mm here and a 3mm here. You can use run wrench, go back and forth, make it really easy. So other things that I really like about this are the neck. The neck it's very thin. I like a thin neck, and it's actually also unfinished. So we're going to zoom here. You can actually see the gloss on the headstock, and then right here, you can see there's no finish from here down, which is awesome in my opinion. You can get a really fast non-sticky neck. So if you're trying to move down really quick, up and down, you're not going to get stuck on that gloss. The finish itself on here is actually really nice. I was really impressed with the transparent finish. It's a good gloss. It's very even. There's no ripples in it, and you don't see a lot of transparent finishes on just a natural wood. So it was cool to see. I do prefer more of a quilted or flame kind of look, but it's not bad. It gives some character. So the other really cool thing about this guitar are the locking tuners. If you've never used a guitar with locking tuners, you don't have a guitar with locking tuners, you are missing out. So they have a little locking mechanism in the back here, which you can kind of see. Go out there. You see this little nub right there. So What that does is you put the string in, you lock it down, and then you're good to go. And if I can get in here, you can maybe see, I don't know how well you can see that, but I have no wrap around any of those tuners. So stick it in, turn it a couple times, and you're good to go. So it makes string changing really easy. I really enjoy these. I was really ecstatic to get them. They don't appear to be shallers, which are one of the originals. So I have shallers on one. I have Planet Waves on another guitar. They're not either of those, but they are very solid. So overall, I mean, this is a really cool guitar. If it had stainless steel frets, I'd be even happier, but yeah, you know, it's not all that bad. They could probably use a polish, but that's what you're going to get with nickel. So a couple of the things I don't like about the guitar, and they're really minor gripes. So the bridge, I'm a little iffy on. So it's not a Floyd, and the reason I like a Floyd or a Floyd licensed is it has the locking trim in the back, and it usually has a locking nut. So you never have any tuning issues. This one does have a couple tuning issues, and I think that has a lot to do with the nut. It sticks a little bit, so if you do some research online, you'll see that when someone does a bend and bring it back, it's actually going to be a little bit flat. And some people can take the whammy bar, pull the whammy bar down, and it'll come back. I don't have all that much luck, but then again, I'm looking at it really closely. I get out a tuner which goes down to the 10th of a hertz, and it doesn't go all the way back, but it's not awful. So I'm not all that happy with that, but it is a pretty decent bridge. You can do some really good dives with it. The whammy bar is pretty solid. I mean, it's hard to screw up a whammy bar. The one thing it's a little funky about the whammy bar is it takes a little bit of wiggling to get it out, but there's no screws. It's just this little guy with a couple washers in there. I'm just going to focus, but it's really easy to put in. It's a little bit of a pain to take back out, but you know, if you only need to take it out and you put it in and out of your case, it's not all that big of a deal. The knobs I hate. They're these little pointy knobs. I just don't like them. You don't get as much to grab onto when you're turning the knob. I would rather have a dome knob or maybe a flat top knob. I'm actually going to be replacing the electronics in this, so with that I'm going to be changing the knobs out. The finish on the selector switch is kind of starting to come off. It's got the black finish and a little bit of rubbing. It's coming off, especially with the black finish on your hardware. That's just going to happen over time. I've got a couple of guitars here that I've had for 4 or 5 years, and yeah, they're definitely getting worn out. One last thing that really helps define a guitar are the pickups. They are SBMM pickups, which are Sterling by Music Man designed. So I don't know where they get them from, but they're designed for the guitar. This guitar is actually really close, really similar to like the JP7, which is the higher end of the Music Man guitars. And that has the Illuminator pickups in it, which are DiMarzio's, and they're one of John Petrucci's signature pickups. So I'm actually going to replace the pickups in here with Illuminators. But having said that, these pickups actually aren't as bad as I would have expected. They are pretty clean. You get some good tones out of them. They are a little maybe muddy or not as clear, not as defined as some of the other pickups. I have a few guitars that are equipped with the DiMarzio CrunchLab in the bridge and the Air Norton in the neck, or a couple of them have the liquid fire in the neck. Compared to those, it's close. I mean, when I play this guitar and then I pick up the other guitar with the CrunchLab, I'm like, yeah, that guitar definitely wins out. But they're pretty decent pickups for what you get. For a $650 guitar, you can't expect too much from the pickups. The Illuminators were $100 each. That's a third of the price of the guitar, so you can't really blame them for not putting them in this guitar. But in my opinion, if you're getting a guitar for under $1,000, you're probably going to end up changing out the pickups anyway. And there's so many different types of pickups and so many different type of playing styles that it really doesn't make a whole lot of sense, especially at that price point, to really put a lot of work into making a really defined, expensive pickup into these, because they might just get changed out anyway. If you wait till the end of the video, I'm going to do a back-to-back comparison of the pickups in this and the pickups in my other green guitar back here, which has the CrunchLab, DiMarzio CrunchLab in the bridge and the Air Norton in the neck. So you can get some side-by-side comparisons of that, and you can really see that these aren't that bad. So overall, my opinion of this guitar is it's a really good guitar. Is it a fantastic guitar? Not really, but it's really good. It's totally worth getting, especially if you are looking to spend a few $100 and want to try out a 7-string. If you're looking for something that you're going to want to end up keeping long term and have, you know, one of your really nice guitars, I'd recommend going with something higher in the Music Man range and not the Sterling range, or go with maybe a Jackson or an Ibanez. I know they have a lot of 7-string guitars out there as well. But if this is what you're looking for, if you're really trying to decide on this thing, go get it. Done. Hopefully this was helpful for you. If it was, give me a like. And if you want to hear more of what I'm working on, like you want to see that blue guitar put together, we'll be working on that soon, or the electronics I'm going to be putting in this JP70 with coil tapping, subscribe to my channel and you can be informed when I put up new videos. Now remember, if you want to hear samples of this guitar compared to the guitar equipped with the CrunchLab and Air Norton pickups, they're coming right up. But until next time, rock on.